Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. My face is breaking out, as you can see. Ignore that. I am very tired, and I just finished watching an hour and 22 minutes of Sweetheart. Sweetheart is a title that was made in 2019. You can find it on Netflix. And it was directed by J.D. Dillard and was written by J.D. Dillard, Alex Heiner, and Alex Thorber. I'm not going to spend too long talking about this because it's a Friday for you. And I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this film, which is quite disappointing. The idea of the film is this: people get washed up on a shore of an island, and there's a mysterious creature that comes out at night. That's the whole thing. Which is a pretty okay premise. I mean, if you're into creature features, you might like this. I'm not a huge creature feature guy. I like crime horror and I like fantasy horror, but like not this way. I like adventure horror quite a lot. Um this is not for me, I would say. I didn't hate it. I think there were some really cool elements to this film, and I think that there were a lot of things that I would have changed about the film to make it more my style. Let's discuss. This is a no spoiler review, by the way, so I'm not going to give away almost any spoilers. And if I do, I will tell you before I say it. So, the name Sweetheart is interesting because you wouldn't expect that for a movie about a creature feature. Um, and I'll tell you why it's called Sweetheart. So, there's a guy called Lucas in the film, and he is Jen, who's the main character's boyfriend, and he calls her Sweetheart when he thinks that she's being dumb. And the lead character is a strong female black woman, which props because it works really well for them. That is one of the very few things in this film that work really well for them is of a very strong female black lead, and she does a phenomenal job. However, there are some issues with the film. So they call it Sweetheart because it's about her like you know being better than herself and trying to own herself to stop being afraid of the thing and try to stand up to it and figure out the problem. Um, there's a few issues that I have with the film. First of all, the continuity of the film is just all over the place. Like in one scene, she'll like scrape her arm like really bad, like it looks like they're gonna need stitches, and then the next scene it'll just be gone. Um, which has nothing to do with the directing or the writing. That probably has to do with the props department. But it's more probably what happened was they probably filmed the scene. There's a scene in particular that I'm thinking about where she slices her knee open and then she goes to take a bath in the salt water, which should hurt for one. And then she climbs back onto the sea to dry off, and the cut that she just scraped her knee on is just gone. My thought process is that they probably shot that scene first, and then realized that the film was kind of short, and then they had to add more because there was only like dialogue probably was like 10 minutes total of this film, and it's only an hour and 22 minutes long. My thought is they probably made this film and it was like 45 minutes, and they're like, "Crap, we need something else." And they probably added the stuff that didn't contribute to the story afterwards, which is my thought as to why the makeup continuity is just all over the place. Because they probably shot a lot for B roll, which is like the after roll, which is you're supposed to use for like filling in gaps and stuff, and it just does not match the the actual story at all. And that happens on multiple occasions, which is really disappointing for me. I mean, there's stuff that is just so obvious that, even just general moviegoers are gonna see. I mean, there's no way they don't see that. That's a big deal. Like she cut her knee open super deep and then it's just gone. And then it's back again like 20 minutes later for no reason. You're like, okay. Um it's really difficult. It's really annoying that that happened. It saddens me to no end. Um, let's see, what else did I not like about the film? I loved the cinematography, of a lot of it. The shots in the water are beautiful. And very, very well done. So whoever decided to do that, I'm assuming that has to do with J.D. Dillard. Good job. It looks great. Um, the creature itself. I'm gonna say itself. Um, I didn't have too many problems with it. In the beginning, it was really cool because you would see it like killing things like fish and stuff, and then she shoots a flare to try to get the attention of a helicopter, and the flare ends up going over the monster that you don't see yet, and then lands below the monster, and then has this red flare glow, and all you see is a silhouette of the monster, and that's the first time you see it, and it's like that's really cool. Um, and then after that, it's less tasteful, and it's more just kind of like weird alien thing that you just kind of can see but kind of can't see for a while. It's really annoying how they went from a really cool idea to and just kind of ruined it for me. Excuse me. Because it really was something in the beginning. I was like, wow, this could be really cool. If I could change things about this film, I would a make it more of a mystery where she's trying to figure out what it is and maybe try to contact it instead of just going for like it's automatically bad because it's killing things. I always like a good villain, a good antagonist, and this antagonist is okay. I mean, it's a monster of some sort, but it doesn't give our protagonist enough to do, in my opinion. Our protagonist here is just trying to stay alive, find food, and get the hell off the island, which I agree. That's a cool idea. It's what you would expect from a creature feature survival film, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with it, particularly because they had an hour and 22 minutes, and I think a lot of it was just shot afterwards to fill in gaps for the movie. I heard really good things about this film, and a lot of it has to do with the cinematography, which I already credited was a really good idea and really well done. But they don't talk about the bad stuff. Like the continuity is really just awful. And I'm going to talk about two actors here. I'm going to talk about Kiersey Clemens, who is Jen, and she is the star of the show. She easily is the best thing, and quite frankly, one of the only things that I watched this film for. She was fantastic. Um, and it's difficult because you're playing against the guy who plays Lucas is kind of an asshole. Um, and he calls her sweetheart when he thinks she's being done. She's like, "We need to get off this island. There's a monster here," and he's like, "Sweetheart, no." Which is really demeaning, obviously. Which is why the film is called Sweetheart because it shows that a black woman. So that's two minorities. Oh, I guess women aren't minority. That's not a minority, I don't think. Um, you know what I mean? Two women in black. And so the issue with that is that oftentimes in recent history they're portrayed as weak. And in this film, she is portrayed as super strong and self aware and very strong. And I think that deserves credit because that was really, really well done. I can see her going places as an actress. She's really, really good. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw her in the MCU at some point. She really is quite great in this film. Because they don't give her a lot to play with. They literally gave her like maybe 10 lines in the entire film, and the rest of it is just reacting to things on the island. And it really was something to watch. It was the only thing to look forward to. Um, quite quick stray before we talk about Lucas. Um, One thing that really annoyed me about the film was the darkness of the film, and I've mentioned this in other films that I've talked about, and that is just if you're gonna do darkness, you can't have it be super dark because then the audience can't see anything. Um, I'm sure like in the movie theater it was probably fine, but I'm watching this on a streaming service, so they should accommodate for that. I mean, everything is going to go onto a streaming service at some point. Movie theaters are just temporary, all right? They are just for the diehard fans that want to go see a film. I love the movie theaters, but I did not enjoy watching this on that tiny screen that I have because it's just pitch black for half of the movie and you can't really see anything, which I suppose is probably the director's point because he doesn't want us to see the creature too well because it's probably not very well done. Which, I mean, fair enough, but just have a better budget then. It was a Universal picture, so it should have a reasonable budget. It shouldn't have been to the point where we couldn't see the creature for half the movie. But anyway, Emory Cohen plays Lucas, and it was arguably the worst performance. I mean, there's only like four performances in this entire film, and each of them have like 3 minutes of screen time, except for Jen, who has almost 100% of the screen time. Um, but Lucas, The other performance was okay. I don't even know who the actress was, but she did fine. It wasn't like super good. It wasn't super bad. That's why I decided not to talk about it because it's late. I'm tired. I have a football game in half an hour to watch. Um, and so I did not enjoy watching Cohen as Lucas. I understand that he was supposed to be an asshole in this film, but I didn't not like his performance because he was an asshole. I think he just wasn't into it enough. He wasn't an asshole. Was my problem. Like the only asshole thing he said would be like sweetheart, which just for me felt like the writers were like, oh, we want to call it sweetheart, but we don't know how to put it in the film, and then they wrote it, and they're like, oh, well, just make sure that this line is very stressed, so that the audience members understand the title. Which I understood the title as soon as he said it, but there has to be more meaning behind the words. You can't just have him be an asshole at one point and the rest of it be like whatever. Like it has to be super. He has to act super mean the whole time, and his writing shows that he's an asshole. He just doesn't say them in an assholey way. Uh, Children, if you're watching this, I'm not saying asshole. Okay. Um, I think that's all I want to talk about. You can watch this film if you want, and give me your thoughts. It is supposedly a really good film. Everyone that I've talked to about that has watched this film really enjoyed this film, and I mean, it's just not for me. I'm not a creature feature guy. I never have been. I probably never will be. This is a film that I probably would have to see in the theaters in order to appreciate fully. And that being said, unfortunately, so far this is my lowest rating for a Halloween week as a C plus. Um, I rated that because of the continuity issues, the darkness issues, the general. I don't really enjoy the idea of the film. Um, but I didn't rate it too low because I think the directing was really good for a lot of it. I think the creature was well done in the beginning, and of course, Kiersey Clemens was fantastic. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I haven't decided what time I'm uploading these, including tomorrow's. But tomorrow's Halloween, so first of all, happy Halloween tomorrow. Hopefully you tune in for my review tomorrow. I don't currently know what the film will be. It is the 19th of October right now when I'm filming this. So I don't know what it's going to be, but it looks like it's going to be Ghostbusters. So I hope you tune in tomorrow to watch that, and I hope you have a great Halloween. And remember to subscribe. Subscribe. Tell all your friends about what's going on here on my channel. And make sure you start a comment thread, right? I'm not afraid to talk to you. As soon as you put a comment down there, I will reply. Join the Facebook group, link in the description, and I will make sure that you can talk to me on there, and we'll have interactive polls so you can request to me what you want me to what do you want me to watch. I believe in my Percy Jackson review, Percy Jackson and Olympian's Lightning Thief, which I think came out on Friday the 23rd at this point. I did mention that I would like to do um, a 7 day long reviews, so 7 reviews of my top 7 movies that I've ever watched of all time, not including MCU films. If you want that, go give that review a like, and I will see if I can make that happen for you guys for Thanksgiving. Beyond that, keep watching films, and I'll see you guys in the next video on Halloween.